play the last act today, and it's about an actress who is. What was the story about? I can't exactly remember. I guess you'll have to watch and find out with me. I just played another game earlier. It was called The Gallagher Mansion, or The Groom of the Gallagher Mansion. That's right, The Groom of the Gallagher Mansion. It was a pretty good Otome game, so I suggest you check it out. I just got this game today, so I want to play it through. I'm not sure if it'll be a long or short game, but I have enough time. I don't really feel exactly too tired yet. I did drink coffee a little bit too late today, so definitely not going to go to sleep anytime soon. This is an indie game. I really like the art style of it. It does kind of look like the Sunny Day Jack kind of art style. I don't know what this kind of specific art style it's called, but it looks very cartoony. It's very soft. I like just the colors and everything in there. It's really cute. So that's pretty much why I bought this game at first. Just at first glance, I really love the art style. I haven't played this game before, and I haven't really heard of it before. It just popped up on my feed, so I bought it. It wasn't too expensive, so if you're interested after this, definitely check it out and try to play it for yourself. Let's see. Yeah, but it's about an actress. It's kind of giving me Phantom about the opera vibes, but we might be actually dealing with the real Phantom here. So I would be careful if I were you. Gonna do a blind playthrough as usual. I don't try to get all the endings because I do want people to play for themselves. Or if there is multiple endings and it's a really short game, I don't mind playing through it, but I would rather everyone just just play for themselves to get all the endings. But if that's not the case, well, that's fine. It's a very fun game. I would think. I like the art so far. It's really cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. If you guys have any questions or like anything you want me to try out in my next Otome games, let me know. Leave it in the comments or just shoot me a message. I think I have my Twitter. I don't remember if I remember my password though. I haven't logged in a very long time. But either way, let's get started. I put this off long enough, and let's start the game. I can't help but feel nervous as I walk into the theater. Quick save that. This is the opportunity I've been dreaming of all my life, a chance to appear in a real theatrical production. My name is Sarah. Ever since I was a little girl and first visited the theater, I wanted to be in a play. Now, at last, I have my chance. I spoke directly to the director yesterday, and she said there's a chance for me to appear in this play. All I have to do was to pass the audition. Oh my goodness, you're here. Oh, she said, oh good, you're here. Okay. Ah! Am I late? Was she waiting long? Miranda, here's the part you'll be reading for. She hands me the script for a scene of several sections highlighted. Sarah, wait a minute, this is... When I called the theater the day before, they said they had a part for a young actress in a supporting role. Yet the script she just handed me appears to be for the main character. Okay, so I guess we're not able to name our main character in this game. That's not bad. It's not a bad thing. Obviously we're looking at the character, so I'm assuming we're Sarah, and we're trying out for the role, and it makes sense because I think I did see her in some of the art. So, okay, our main character is Sarah. I'm ready, or this must be some mistake. Let's make sure it's not a mistake first. I beg your pardon. I shouldn't have asked that. I came here to audition for a supporting role. The role's been filled already. We'd like to see you try this one. Okay. You'll be reading your lines with Joshua, who has been cast as the male lead. Joshua, this is Sarah, Miranda says. Joshua, you cute. Nice to meet you. I don't know why I made him sound like that. Same. I look down at the script I've been given. Miranda says, if you're ready, just start from the top. Okay, looks like Joshua has the first line in the script. Joshua, we're completely alone in this house, I tell you. You're imagining things. Sarah, I am not imagining things. Someone was watching me last night. I'm sure of it. Joshua, all you need is a good night's sleep. Sarah, how can I sleep with someone watching me? And then their noises. Don't pretend you haven't heard of them. I see you heard them too. There's someone else in this house beside us, Joshua, and if you won't take this seriously, then this will end. This is the end of us. Or I guess the end for us. This character seems to have a flair for melodrama. Miranda, that was wonderful. Let's keep going. We run through a few more scenes. All of them are similarly melodramatic with a hint of ominous things ahead for our characters. From time to time, Miranda stops us and asks us to say something a little differently, but the longer we practice, the more comfortable I feel in my role. At last, when we reach the end of our current scene, she nods. Sarah, I'd like to offer you the part. How about it? How about it? It's a dream come true. Yes! I'm glad to have you aboard. I can't believe I came to audition for a minor role and got the lead heroine's part. I won't let you down. Now, since you two will be co-stars, I'm sure you'll want to get to know each other better. Yes, indeed. He smiles, and the heat raises to my cheeks. Why is he smiling at me like that? Is he just a friendly person, or... Before I let you go, however, wrong voice. Before I let you go, however, I thought you might be interested in learning a little bit more about the story that inspired this play. You mean it's based on a true story? Perhaps. What? How do you feel? How do you feel about that depends on the answer to a very important question. Do you believe in ghosts? I'm not sure. Joshua, you're not sure? But there's no logical reason to believe ghosts exist. Miranda, perhaps Sarah feels there's no conclusive way to provide they don't either. Sarah, sort of, yeah. I haven't seen any proof of ghosts, but there's a lot of unexplained incidences in the world too. I haven't made up my mind yet. Joshua, I bet you're the sort of person who thinks there's a chance aliens exist too. Yes, I do, sir, and I'm answering as myself. What's wrong with that? I knew it, asshole. No, really, what's wrong with that? Believing in aliens is just I should read through my nose. Believing in aliens is just as illogical as believing in ghosts, because that's how you sound like. Ghosts and aliens are completely different. Miranda, if you're going to argue about aliens, do so on your own time. We're talking about ghosts. Sarah, so when you say the play might be based on a true story depending on whether or not we believe in ghosts, do you mean it's been inspired by a ghost story that some people believe is real? That's exactly right. She lowers her voice to a hushed whisper. It happened in this very town 20 years ago. A young couple moved into a new house only to discover it was haunted. Uh-huh. At first, only little things. The sensation of being watched, footsteps at night, a face at the front window when the house would have been empty. My neck prickles as I fight the urge to look over my shoulder to see if someone was staring at me. Is this a true story? My character's dialogue in the play, which had been somewhat laughably melodramatic during the audition, now felt more ominous. How would I feel if I was in her position? From there, it escalated. Objects moved, screams rang and out in the night, a couple sensed that they were being stalked, until finally, they died. So, you've turned this supposed incident into a play. That's right. I think it makes for a pretty good story. I agree it's a good story. Or, what's a ghost's origin? I don't want to just agree. I want to know what the ghost is about. Tell me about the backstory. Sarah, the ghost had to come from somewhere, right? Why was it haunting them? What did it want? Well, that's not really part of the story. But you have to understand the girl's motives. If you read through the script, I'm sure you'll see the story works just fine as a ghost with a general embodiment of evil. That sounds more like a demon than a ghost. The difference hardly matters. I'm about to respond to him when my skin crawls again. The hair on the neck stands on end, and this time I look over my shoulder. For a moment, I see a man watching me from the shadows of the set. When I blink again, he's gone. What in the world? Sarah, are you all right? Sorry, I must be seeing things. Oh, did my story get under your skin? Something like that. Don't worry, I'm sure the ghosts aren't out to get you. Yet. She really does love this sort of thing, doesn't she? I glance again at the palace where I saw I glance again at the place I saw the man. Whoever he was, that was creepy. I'll keep my eyes open. Anyway, that's all I need from you today. Rehearsals are twice a week. Your scripts include all the information you need when you get back. But let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, I will. Yes, I will too. Script in hand, I head towards the door. Part of me can't believe my dream has come true. Sure, it's a small production, but still, I'm going to be in a play. And maybe this is just the beginning. Joshua catches up to me as I reach the exit. It's very nice meeting you. Can I walk you home? Oh, that's him. It was very nice meeting you. Can I walk you home? Sure. We gotta get along anyways. We're gonna be together for about 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know how long practice is. He smiles and we leave the theater together. Thank you. No thanks. No thanks needed. You seem a little grumpy there at the end, so I thought you might want some company. And besides, I'd hoped to get to know you better. Aww. You just completely disregarded my belief in aliens and ghosts. I don't know if we'll get along long term, buddy. I don't think we'll get along well. You're lying through your teeth and you know it. We already have one thing in common. What? A love for theater? Yes, exactly. I've loved the theater ever since I was a kid. Me too. I've always wanted to be in a play like this for years. I've already played a few roles, but it never gets old. I'm glad we've met. I have a feeling we're going to get along well. I take the lead and Joshua and I walk down the streets towards my apartment. We talk about the little things to pass the time until at last we reach the apartment building. This is it. Thank you again. Thank you for your company. I'll see you at next rehearsal. Yes, see you then. Once I get inside my apartment, I sit down and let out a long breath. What a day. I thought I'd end up with a minor role in a play if I was lucky, and instead I got the heroine's part. Talk about a good start. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of Joshua too. I read through the entire script for the play. It's never too early to get started, and I want to do my best. The play ends on a dark note with a couple dying. The play ended on a dark note with a couple dying, just as Miranda said happened in the actual story. Once I finish reading it, I double-check the notes about the rehearsal times and then put it away for the evening. Well, now I think I'll... My skin crawls with the sensation of being watched. I turn around, but my apartment is empty. I better pull myself together, or I'll never last in this theater. For the rest of the evening, I distract myself with various things until I'm no longer thinking about the strange incident on set. At last, I head over to my bedroom and go to sleep. As soon as the lights are off, a strange feeling returns. A soft sound comes to me in the dark, a strange rustling. Could there really be something in here with me? But what should I do? As my eyelids adjust to the darkness, a faint silhouette comes into view. The figure stands by a window, looking at me. That face, it's the same one I saw earlier today. I stand up straight, heart pounding. All right, we're gonna turn on the light or run out of the room. Turn on the light. Determined to see the intruder better, I reach out towards my lamp by my bed. He makes no move to stop me as I twist the switch. In the light, I see two things become apparent. First, his clothes are old-fashioned, like something you might see in a history book or a documentary. Second and most important, he is partially translucent. What do you want? You're in danger. I draw back, uncertain on what I could do to get myself out of this situation. The danger will not come from me. Yet you are in danger. Mark my words. What sort of danger? When the time comes, you will understand. Then you must leave before it's too late. Leave where? What are you talking about? I wish I could answer all your questions. I sense that you would understand me. What do you mean? Unfortunately, I cannot remain at this time. We will meet again. Wait! Even as I cry out, he begins to fade away. I take a deep breath, my heart still pounding. A ghost appeared to have been in my apartment, trying to warn me about something, some sort of danger. But why? And who was he? It's the same ghost from the theater. Something must have drawn him to me. Then the danger he warned me about is from the theater? Or perhaps he was hoping to contact me then too. I checked out around my apartment just to make sure everything is secure. Nothing's out of place and it looks exactly as it should. Did I really talk to a ghost or was I just dreaming? I'm gonna believe it's a ghost. And after I think everything over, I can't deny it. I definitely saw a ghost. It means I'm in danger from either the ghost himself or whatever he was trying to warn me about. He said I understand when the time comes. I hope it's not too late. The rest of the night passes without incident, but it's been a long time before I'm able to fall asleep. There are no further appearances from my ghostly visitor over the next few days. By the time my first rehearsal arrives, I could almost convince myself that I imagined the whole thing. I wonder if anyone else has seen him, and why would he specifically come to warn me? When I arrive, the stage is full of people talking and laughing together. Joshua spots me and waves me over. Is he the danger? He looks so sweet, though. And it's so cute. Look at his eyes. He looks like a cat. I love it. I want to pet his face. Anyways, we gotta figure this out. We gotta save our hides. I join him and set down my coat. Hello again, Sarah. Hello. Oh, I don't think we've met before. Sarah, this is Grady, who will be playing the part of our ghost. Grady, this is Sarah, the heroine. Grady smiles and shakes up the prop chain. It will be a pleasure to haunt you, Sarah. Pleased to meet you too. From there, Joshua introduces me to the rest of the cast. Even though it's a small play, there are quite a few names to keep track of. I hope I'll be able to remember everyone. Alright, is everyone here? After a chorus of responses, she claps her hands together. Good, let's get started from the top. Joshua and Sarah, you have the first scene. We walked together to the center of stage. I open my script and glance at the first page. Our characters start out on the street, discussing a new house. Joshua leans close to me, his voice a hushed whisper. If you need any pointers, just let me know. Thanks. He grins and we take our places. It's nice to know that my co-star is on my side. I'm still so new to all this. After we practice, maybe I'll ask him what he thought of my acting. He might have good advice. I have no more time to think about it before our scene begins. Finally, our new home. I can't believe it's ours, and it's at such a good price, too. This is the beginning of the rest of our lives. They're very short lives. Let's hurry. I can't wait to get inside. I know you'll... Am I interrupting? A sudden cold voice makes us both stop. This isn't in the script. A woman entered backstage. Oh, is she the problem? She has such great makeup. And beautiful hair, though. I love that pink. Very bright. She looks a bit witchy, though. You gonna cast a curse on me, lady? A woman entered backstage, but she doesn't appear to be one of the actors. She walks towards us with a strange, contemptuous smile on her face. Contemptuous? I think it's contemptuous. Is this what I think it is? Oh, I should give her, okay, a little bit of a... What do you want? Hello, Miranda dear. I just wanted to learn more about your latest production. You have no business being here. Now, is that any way to talk to an old friend? Old friend? This woman abruptly points to me. You there, girl. What sort of play is this? Oh, Tim, good luck. Don't be drunk. Good luck. Oh boy, good luck. Especially if it's tequila. Especially if it's tequila. Good luck, that's all I can say about that. Sorry. You appear to be one of the stars, so what can you tell me about it? You should ask Miranda. I don't want to talk to you, bitch. Oh, I see. You're already on her side. Who said anything about sides? What's going on? Well then, Miranda, are you going to tell me about your play? I see no reason why I should. I see my presence here isn't wanted. That's an understatement. With a sigh, the stranger turns and strides back out the door. She slips once, and rather than ruin her dramatic departure, she slams the door and leaves a confused silence in her wake. And what just happened? Joshua. Oh, wait. What did Joshua say? Sarah, at least it's not just me. Miranda. Very sorry about that. Joshua. Who was that woman? Miranda. Alicia Blair, a rival of mine. I'd rather not discuss it. Now that she's gone, let's just continue with our rehearsal. The rest of our rehearsal passes uneventfully. Joshua and I work well together. There are no further interruptions, and best of all, I don't see anyone spying on us. As we finish up, Joshua beckons me closer. What do you make of this Alicia Blair interrupting our rehearsal like that? I want to say something weird is going on. It's... And then Joshua says, then it's not just my imagination. You felt it too? How was there just something off? How there was just something off about this whole conversation? Yes, that's exactly it. Well, do you think... Miranda. Sarah, can I speak to you for a moment before you leave? Oh, sure. She takes me aside and lowers her voice. For whatever reason, Alicia seems to have taken an interest in you. Keep your wits about you. I definitely will. She seems shady and like she crafts curses. She seems shady. I don't trust a woman that wears that much makeup and jewelry together. And then, I don't know, man. She just gives me that vibe. Unless I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Good. What's up with this rivalry that she feels the need to warn me like that? She claps me on the shoulder, and I head back to where Joshua was waiting with a puzzled frown. Is everything all right? Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, what were you saying? He shakes his head. Never mind. I like some time to think everything over before I say anything more. See you at the next rehearsal, Sarah. With that, he hurries out of the theater. Well, that was strange. I head home myself. Once I get to my apartment, I take my coat off and set down all my things. I'm getting out my script and I notice a small piece of paper sticking out of my purse. Huh? Perplexed, I pull it out and unfold it. Neat cursive letters read, "Call me tonight, Alicia," followed by a phone number. What in the world? When she slipped on her way out, she must have been stuffing this in my purse. Why? Miranda wasn't exaggerating. Somehow I've caught Alicia Blair's attention, but what could she want? Mindful of Miranda's warning, I stare down at the phone number. Okay, so should I call her or should I leave? I'm very nosy and gossipy. I want to know all the tea, all the drama, everything from everybody. So, of course, the answer for me is going to be this, but I know the smart thing is probably going to be the second one. But I'm going to give her a call, see what she wants. Because she did all this dramatic for what? For what reason? Why did she do all this? It's at least worth hearing what she has to say. I dial the number on the paper and sit down to wait. Good evening. Alicia Blair speaking. Hello, Oh, I recognize your voice. You're the girl from the theater. The one in Miranda's little play. I see you got my message. That's right. You sound suspicious, my dear. That I did something to offend you. You stuck a note in my purse. So? That's not a normal thing to do. Miranda would have been furious if she knew I wanted to talk to one of her stars. She's very paranoid, you know. I see. You got my message, so it worked out at least. Why did you want me to call you, Miss Blair? Please call me Alicia. As for your question, I wanted to warn you. Warn me? I have a reason to believe you're in danger. That's the second warning I've gotten. Oh? What was your first warning? A ghost. To my surprise, she doesn't laugh. I see. Interesting. What? Do you know something about it? Mark my words. Strange things will start happening at that theater soon. Dangerous things. Is that a threat? I already told you. It's a warning. If you want to warn me, you could have been a bit more specific. Oh, I don't know you nearly well enough for that, dear. Let me say, you seem like a promising young woman with a great deal of talent, and I would hate to see such promise go to waste. That does sound like a bit of a threat. Now, I happen to be involved in theater myself. If you're interested, I'm sure I could find a place for someone like you. I'll think about it. Wonderful. Just because I'm thinking about it doesn't mean I'll accept, though. Well, I won't trouble you any further. Good night, my dear. Think about what I said. Without even waiting for a goodbye, she hangs up and leaves me sitting there with the silent phone in my hand. That was definitely strange. And that makes 2 warnings that I'm in danger. 3 if I count Miranda warning me about Alicia. What's going on here? Who would have guessed getting involved with a small-time play would lead to such drama? Get it? Drama? The strange conversation and implied threat lingers in my thoughts for the rest of the night. A few days later, it's time for a second rehearsal. This time it starts out smoothly, with no interruptions. Soon Joshua and I reach a climatic scene where the ghost will finally claim our lives. Climatic. Look, don't you see it? Can't you see that man? I don't see anything. There, it's right there. I run towards the side of the stage I'm supposed to, and instead of Joshua's next line, he suddenly shouts, Sarah, look out! That's not his... Wait, me? I jump to the side, and the stage light used to illuminate this part of the set crashes down onto the spot that I would have been if Joshua hadn't called out. What? Are you alright? I'm just a bit shaken, but not stirred. Dada, such an old reference too. Like me. I can understand that. Just think, if I was a little slower, or if you hadn't called out, I'd be either dead in a hospital, or those lights are... I'd be dead, or in a hospital. Those light stages are heavy. Stage lights. I stare into the spot where it struck, unable to pull myself away. The wood of the stage splintered beneath it from the impact. That could have been my skull. Steady now, it's all right. Everyone, stay right where you are. I don't want anyone to leave the theater. What? We need to get to the bottom of what just happened right now. What's there to get to the bottom of? Just some freak accident, right? A pleasant thought, but I'm not going to risk Sarah's life by being complacent. She doesn't think this was an accident? She thinks someone deliberately tried to kill me? A ghost's words from last night, or from that night, drift through my memory as I shiver. When the time comes, you will understand. Then you must leave before it's too late. Is this what the ghost was warning me about? Did he mean I should leave the play? Why would someone try to attack one of our actors? Who could do such a thing? I'm not going to make any accusations, but I have my suspicions. She must suspect Alicia. Alicia did imply something dangerous might happen. I'm going to call someone more qualified to investigate the situation. Everyone stay here. As she walks away, the other actors whisper among themselves. Joshua appears especially disturbed. I can't help but look forward to the spot where I saw a ghost after my audition. Was he in theater again? Did he see what happened? It's probably safer to stay here with the others, but I can't deny I'm a bit tempted to go back there just in case. I'm gonna save before I do something stupid. If only that was an option in real life, right? I don't know. I think I will search behind the set. After a quick glance around to make sure no one was going to stop me, I slipped into the shadowed area behind the sets. There's nothing obvious back here, at least. I can't help but feel a little foolish. Did I really expect to find something? What are you doing here? I bit back my scream, and I whirl around. It's him, the ghost that hovers the shadows, watching me with a curious and somewhat worried expression. I was looking for you. Why? You warned me I was in danger, and today a stage light fell on me. Almost. I wanted to know if you were nearby. The danger will only increase from here. Who are you? My name is Silas. Well, I'm glad the first ghost I met is a friendly one. You're not afraid of me then? Depends on how you knew I was in danger. You believe I might be responsible for what happened? Either that or you're in league with the person who is. Why would I warn you if I was involved? He has a point, but I can't shake the feeling that there's something more to this. I don't know your motives, but you somehow knew that I'd be in danger. And you are still in danger. Why? From who? And how do you know about it? What? There's much I want to tell you, and yet... He seems oddly nervous. Can I trust you? Oh, can I trust you? You're worried about not being able to trust me? I'm the one who was almost killed. Very well. I will place my faith in you. The thing is... Sudden footstep cut him off. His eyes widen and he vanishes. Wait! Miranda pokes her head around the edge of the scenery. Hey, there you are. The private investigator is here. Hurry up. The what? Somewhat phased, I follow her back to the others. A tall, rather handsome man in a black suit has joined the actors backstage. He's taking notes in a small notepad. Everyone, this is Private Investigator Gavin Jones. Hello. Yeah, hello. You better be a love interest because you're definitely going to be my next playthrough. Hell yeah. I'll do my best. His voice is gruff and looks at us like we're all suspects. I mean, that's his job, ma'am. I wonder what he'd do if he ran into a ghost. Probably shoot it with like silver bullets or something. You said someone was almost injured? You said someone was almost injured in the incident? Who was it? Miranda points at me. Sarah, our lead actress. I'd like to ask you a few questions, Sarah. All right. Miranda leads us to a room off to the side of the stage and we sit down together. It looks like it's normally used for storing props. Tell me exactly what happened. I recount my harrowing near miss with the following light. Why were you beneath that stage light? That's where the script directs me to go. Who else would know that? Anyone with a copy of the script. All actors, probably the stagehands, just anybody involved in the play. Could the target have been anybody else? Anybody else scripted to run beneath the stage light? Joshua would have followed me after a few minutes. You know if anybody would have reason to hurt you or any of the other actors? I don't know. There is Alicia Blair. Who is she? She's Miranda's rival, somehow. I describe how Alicia interrupted our previous rehearsal. She also spoke to me on the phone and warned me that I might be in danger. I'll have to find her and ask her a few questions. Could Alicia really be behind this? So, has anything else strange happened around here lately? Anything at all? Oh, there has definitely been some strange things happening. But how can I tell him I saw a ghost that warned me that I was in danger? Would he believe me? Even if it seems inconsequential, it could be helpful. I don't know if I should tell him about a ghost. He might think I'm saying stuff. Yeah, tell him. Why not? Let's go to the crazy house. I have to tell him. Even if he thinks I'm crazy, I can't hold back something this important. This might sound hard to believe, but I've seen a ghost. You have? Only once or multiple times. He took that better than I expected. Does he believe in ghosts? Or maybe likes to keep an open mind when questioning witnesses. I've seen him 3 times now. 3? Tell me what happened. His name is Silas. Or Silas? Silas? During my audition, I saw him watching me from behind the set. Although I didn't know he was a ghost then. That night he appeared in my apartment and told me I was in danger. The 3rd time was just before you arrived. You saw the ghost around the time of the incident? Yes, I wondered if the stage light falling was a danger he'd warned me about, so I went looking for him. And? He introduced himself to me and told me the danger will get worse from here. Interesting. Very interesting. He leans closer with an unreadable expression on his face. Tell me, do you think the ghost is responsible for trying to hurt you? No. That's the truth. Why are you so sure? He's not a malevolent spirit. He's on my side. Do you have any proof? It's just what I feel, the way he acts. I'll need to learn about this ghost. Thank you for your time. You've been the most helpful. Gelvin and I... Oh, wait. don't know why I'm doing that voice. Galvin and I leave the room together and return with the others. He looks over the assembled group. Who were the other actors in the scene when the stage light fell? Joshua steps forward. I was. I'd like to question you next. Follow me. As Joshua follows him, I sit down. He's going to question everyone before we leave, and we might be here a while. How are you feeling, Sarah? Not bad. All things considered. I'm glad to hear it. What happened today was terrible. It could have been much worse. Indeed. I hope that the investigator tells us it was an accident. I'd rather believe that than suspect someone was doing this intentionally, Miranda says. After a few minutes, Joshua returns with Gavin, who calls in another actor for questioning. Joshua joins us and sits alongside me. How did it go? That's difficult to say. Huh? How? I told him everything I could think of, anything that seemed helpful, and he's certainly asked plenty of questions. Well, that's good. Something about him doesn't seem quite right, though. What do you mean? I don't know exactly. I just couldn't shake the sense that something was wrong. Like he wasn't taking me seriously. I didn't notice anything like that. Maybe it was just my imagination. Or paranoia. I hope we'll still be able to put on the play. I wonder if it's a coincidence that the play is about a ghost and we have an actual ghost involved. Sarah? I'm sure she has a lot on her mind. Sorry, I was just thinking. Have you decided what you're going to do? Do? As much as I'd hate to lose you, I understand if you want to leave. Leave? You aren't suggesting Sarah back out of the play, are you? It's her decision. If she doesn't feel safe here, we shouldn't pressure her to stay. I hadn't thought much about it until now, but I do need to decide, don't I? I've been warned I'm in danger and should leave. At the same time, I want to know what's happening here. Alright, sounds like it's a good place to save. Alicia said strange things would start happening. Of course, she also offered me a job, which is more than a bit suspicious. I need a little time to think. I understand. She walks away. Joshua regards me with an unreadable expression. What? I'll miss you if you leave. We'll still be able to see each other. I know, but it won't be the same. As each actor is questioned about the incident, I think everything over. Should I stay or should I leave? At last, Gavin finished questioning the final person and rejoins us backstage. Thank you for your time and patience. Is there anything you can tell us? Further investigation is necessary, but you've given me some promising leads. Then you don't think it was an accident? It's too early to say, but right now I don't think it was an accident. I believe someone wanted that stage light to injure one of your actors. Whether it was your lead actress or their specific target or not is still unclear. My stomach lurches. I would have felt so much better if he came out and said it was just an accident. I'll be in touch. With that, he turns and walks out the door. Miranda, I'm certain he'll find the culprit. In the meantime, I want everyone to be careful. Report anything strange to either me or the investigator, no matter how innocent it seems. As the other actors whisper and murmur about what happened, Miranda walks up to me. Well, will I see you in next rehearsal? Why not? Sure. Even though I might be in danger, I can't give up on this dream now. I'm glad to hear it. So am I. For one thing, it might even be a coincidence that I was the target. You should still be careful. So should you. Yeah, I would have been the next one to walk under that light. I'm certain the investigator will get to the bottom of this before long. I'll see you both at the next rehearsal, and don't forget to report anything strange that happens. Here is the investigator's phone number in case you need to get in touch with him. Once she writes down Galvin's phone number for each of us, Joshua and I walk to the door together. I feel better about having made up my mind to face the situation, whatever it may be. May I walk you home again? That would be nice. It's so cute. We leave together. At first, we walk in silence, but once we're a fair distance from the theater, he clears his throat. Joshua, I don't think the culprit ever intended for the stage light to hit you. Then you think the target was someone else? No, I don't think it was meant to hit anyone. Then it was meant to scare us? That's ominous. The last act is like an act of desperation, an act of death, you know? Oh, it's scary. Exactly. Someone wants to scare us away from the theater. You know who the most logical suspect is? Alicia, probably. I see we're on the same page. She does seem like the only one with motive. Joshua, there must be something we're missing that brings this whole thing into perspective. The rivalry between Alicia and Miranda. So we reach my apartment building and we part ways. I head inside alone. The moment I step into my apartment, a ghostly figure shimmers into existence in front of me. Hello again, Silas. Why are you here, Silas? You know why I'm here. You refused to hear my warning. You wanted me to leave the theater? It's not clear from what I said. I told you that when the danger came, you must leave. If someone's trying to kill me, wouldn't they keep coming after me even if I backed out of the play? No, you're not the prime target, merely a convenient one. So why am I the only one who's warned? Because I'm selfish. Huh? You reminded me of someone close to me, an actress I once knew. Someone you knew when you were alive? Yes. He looks around suddenly as though he hears something. I must leave for now, and I will see you again soon. Wait! Despite my cry, he vanishes. I'm still staring at the spot where the ghost hovered a moment ago, and there's a knock at the door. Who is it? It's Miranda. Do you have a minute? Surprised, I open the door. Yes? In all the confusion, I forgot to tell you the rehearsal schedule has been altered slightly. We'll only be meeting once a week from now on while the investigator continues his work. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for staying as part of the show. I want you to know I really appreciate it. She steps closer and lowers her voice to a whisper. Whatever happens, you can count on me. Beware of false friends who try to confuse you. What? Have a good evening. She turns around and walks away as though that was a normal way to end a conversation. Is that a real reason she came to give me a message in person? Oops. What was she talking about? Is this about Alicia? I wonder if this is worth telling Gavin about. Alright. Well, she called him in. I'm gonna tell him anyways. Better call him. I find the phone number Miranda gave me and dialed. After a moment, Gavin picks up. Hello? Hello, this is Sarah. I'd like to talk to you about something that happened. Good, I was meaning to ask you a few more questions as well. It'll be easier to meet up in person. I know a nice place in town where we can talk in relative privacy. Alright. He gives me directions to a local restaurant known as for being classy yet affordable. When we arrive, he's already waiting. We head to the restaurant and sit down at the table together. Once we order dinner, Galvin folds his hands. So you said you wanted to... You said you wanted to talk to me? Did you think of something or you forgot to mention earlier? No, something else happened. Did you see the ghost again? No. Why is he so interested in Silas anyways? He doesn't need to know about that. I see. Then what happened? After I got back to my apartment, Miranda came to see me. The director? What did she want? She said that there was to tell me about a change in the rehearsal schedule, but she also warned me to beware of false friends. What? Beware of false friends who try to confuse you. She said that to me and then left. That's strange. She didn't say anything else about it? No, but she could have just called me about the rehearsals. I can't help but feel the real reason for her visit was to tell me that. Although the advice is cryptic, I'm not sure what required face-to-face conversation either. Sounds like she thinks you're in danger from someone who will try to deceive you. Then she thinks I'm a target after all. Why wouldn't she come to me? Why wouldn't she come to me for this information? I don't know. Unless Galvin is a false friend she warned me about. But it doesn't make sense. She was the one who hired him. That's my idea, right? At least you thought it was important enough to contact me. Thank you for that. It's your job? That's so rude. It's your job after all. I mean, it's your job, bro. Exactly. How am I supposed to do my job if I don't have all the information? Maybe Miranda intends to contact you later. Perhaps. But still, why would she give me such a strange warning? What is it? I want to learn more about this ghost you've seen. Why? Who else fits the description of a friend Miranda doesn't want to speak about openly? You think she knows about Silas and suspects him? Come to think of it, she might believe in ghosts. She was pretty interested in finding out if Joshua and I did. Considering the strange circumstances, the ghost definitely is on my list of suspects. Bro, he's... What kind of detective are you? I mean, I trust the guy. Hence me describing him as a friend. Silas has done nothing but try to help me. He certainly hasn't tried to confuse me about anything, like Miranda warned. All right. It was just a theory. I don't appreciate theories like that. Regardless, we'll see if there's anything I can learn about his origins. Our food arrives and we eat in relative silence. Galvin appears preoccupied by his thoughts, and my few attempts to break the silence doesn't result in much success. Once we're finished, we rise from the table and he offers me an apologetic look. Sorry about that. I know I wasn't the best company this evening. I've got a lot on my mind. Oh, I understand. Maybe we'll get to meet up later under better circumstances. But Galvin pays for our meal and walks me out the door. He stops and fixes me with a serious expression. If anything else happens, contact me immediately. All right. Good night. After he leaves, I stare at him for a moment before heading back home myself. What was really going on here? That night, I was just about to fall asleep when a quiet rustling sound gets my attention. I open my eyes. You're back. Yes. I was wondering when I'd see you again. I had to leave earlier. I was afraid. Afraid of what? What could frighten a ghost? You were no longer alone. He must have sensed Miranda approaching. I guess he doesn't want to be seen by anyone else. Many people do not understand spirits. I feared I was in danger. But you're already dead. Spirits can be harmed. How? I mean, what would happen to you? I could be banished from this mortal world. Isn't that a good thing? Don't spirits want to find rest? Not when our work here is still unfinished. I'm sorry I told Galvin about you. It's fine, I understand why you did it. Can you tell me what's going on now? For you to understand, you need to hear everything from the beginning. Would you like to hear my story? Imagine if I said not tonight. It's crazy. I'm glad. However, this may take a while. As a human, you're still bound by the rules of the flesh. It is pretty late at night, and I'm tired after everything that happened. I'll do my best to stay awake. If you fall asleep, we can continue another time. Thank you. Silas pauses for a moment before he speaks again. When he finally does, his somber tone sends a shiver down my spine. It's been nearly 3 centuries since I lived in this world. 3 centuries? I knew his clothes were old-fashioned, but it never really struck me before. I lived here in this very city. You did? Yes, my mansion rested in the site where your theater was later built. Well, that's pretty. Look at it. It's nice. I want to pick either this one or this one. Why? Is that why? That's why I picked that spot. Yes. Then is your I didn't die in the mansion. My body's buried in the cemetery. The site of the old mansion holds a lot of memories for me, though. So what happened? At first, everything was fine. I lived a peaceful life there in my mansion, and I believe I knew everything the future held. I just realized he doesn't look much older than me. I can't say I'm an expert on everything related to ghosts, but he kept his appearance from the time of death. He must have died pretty young. Okay, one day I met a woman, an actress. You remind me of her. Yeah, tell me about her. She was wonderful. She lived for the stage. It was her greatest joy. I know that feeling. The moment when we first spoke, something changed in me. I knew I'd never be the same again. Were you in love with her? Can you fall in love after one meeting? Maybe so. Maybe my heart was already lost in that moment. A fond note enters his voice. In love or not, I wanted to know more about her. She felt the same, so we began to spend time together. Silas continues speaking about the actress he met and how they began to spend time together, but his voice grows faint. With a start, I realized I missed his last sentence. How can I nod off at a time like this? I apologize. We should continue this another time. I'm fine. No, I shouldn't keep you from your sleep. That wouldn't be right. I'll return to you another time. Good night. All right, good night. He lifts his hand to me in farewell and then fades from sight. My mind is still buzzing with everything he has said, but I really am exhausted. Soon I fell into a dreamless sleep. The next morning, I can't help but think about the case as I get ready for work. There is still a chance I'm still in danger and will remain in danger for as long as I'm involved in the play. The sooner we find out who was responsible for what happened, the sooner I'll get safe again. Of course, some of this may hinge on what Silas have to say as well. Galvin is supposed to get to the bottom of this, but I'll keep my eyes wide open too, just in case. The rest of the day is fairly normal. It seems like danger hasn't followed me out of the theater at least. Is that significant? Is everything tied to the theater? By the time I get home, 2 messages are waiting for me. One is from Joshua asking me to meet him at the theater. At the theater? Isn't that dangerous? Maybe he thinks we'll be safer if we aren't there during rehearsal hours. The second is from Gavin, asking me if he can stop by to talk to me again. I wonder if he's learned something new. Bro, I'm gonna go with... I want to meet him at the theater. I want to know about the ghost. I can't decide. I want to go with Joshua. I can't imagine why Joshua wants to meet me at the theater, but I have to admit, I'm intrigued. I sent a quick response to his message, letting him know I'm on my way. Going to the theater could be dangerous. Maybe I should tell someone where I'm going. Tell Gavin. I get an answering machine when I call Gavin, and I leave a search message telling me I'm gone to the theater to meet with Joshua. After a quick check to make sure I have everything I might need, I head to the theater. Joshua is waiting for me outside. I'm glad you came. When I got your message, I wasn't sure what to think. It won't be safe for you, or perhaps any of us, to be involved with the production until we get the bottom of this case. Therefore, it's in our best interest to investigate. Investigate? I know he picked a strange vibe from Gavin, but is it really okay to take matters into our own hands like this? I see your point, but the theater is empty today, so we'll be able to investigate in peace. This sounds dangerous. No one's here, we'll be fine. What about the murderer? The murderer could be in there. And if the culprit shows up, we could be alone with someone dangerous in an empty building. Then we'll know for sure who it is. Wait, he almost is hoping like the culprit should arrive. Don't worry, I'll protect you. It seems like you have a harebrained scheme that I'm not informed of, and it's about to go south real quick. If years of watching Scooby-Doo taught me anything, is that there's a trap somewhere in there. Since no one else should be here, maybe this will really work out. Let's go in. He pulls a key and unlocks the door, and then we head inside. The theater is eerie with no one in it. A strange sensation crawls over my skin and makes me shiver. Feels strange to be here alone, doesn't it? No kidding. I have expected to see Silas watching us when we reach the stage, but he's nowhere to be seen. I wonder if he showed himself while Joshua is with me. What's wrong? There's no one here. I'm gonna tell you about the ghost. That's my man. Okay, you gotta know about I'm gonna tell everybody, you know? Excuse me? A ghost that sometimes haunts this theater. Oh, I almost forgot you believed in that sort of thing. What do you mean I believe in that sort of thing? Sir, I saw some stuff with my very thine own eyes. With thine own eyes. Okay? Rude. Such a skeptical man. You would too if you'd seen what I'd have. I wasn't looking for any ghosts, but a specific one I've seen here before. Whatever. Still sounds like a whole lot of nonsense to me. Silas probably won't be here. I need to be more concerned with whoever caused the accident during the rehearsal. I want to examine the light that fell. Is it still here? Yes, and it was moved to the storage room. I'm surprised Galvin didn't take it away as evidence. A lot of things about his investigation are surprising if you ask me. That's why I said I'd rather do this ourselves. Yeah, it's really weird that he didn't take the primary kill weapon attempt. Now, I might not have graduated investigating school, but I know that's the number one thing investigators do is just to take evidence for, like, what are they called? For surveyors or whatever, to look at the DNA and see what happened. Yeah, bro, why isn't he looking at the DNA? That's a really good point. He's super interested about ghosts and he's not calling me crazy. He hasn't spit in my face yet, and that's weird. That's not a usual attitude for a detective. Didn't put a light in my eyes or nothing. What are you hoping to find? Fingerprints? In response, he pulls out a small jar of fingerprint powder. Oh, such a logical man. I love it. Wait, really? What? We won't be able to match the prints. One of my cousins work for the police. So what? You're going to show their fingerprints to him? He can at least help me get access. That is nepotism, sir. That is not legal. Not legal at all. It might work. He carefully sprinkles fingerprint powder over the stage light. All right, now... A soft thumping sound from the stage makes us both freeze. No one is supposed to be here. Joshua springs up and races out of the room. I hurry after him. Who's there? Where are you? A horrible creaking sound is my only warning. I turn to see one of the set backgrounds wobbling. Look out! I grab Joshua and pull him to the side as the set topples. What in the... It fell. It almost hit us, just like the stage light. The culprit must still be here. But is it safe for us to stay? Before either of us can move, the theater door opens. All right, your unsanctioned investigation is over. What are you doing here? Sarah told me what you were planning. Sarah, how could you? I thought it might be dangerous, so... Forget it. The two of you should know better than to put yourselves in danger like this. You don't... Be quiet while you distract us. The culprit is getting away. What? Are you saying someone else is in here? We heard a sound, then we came out to see, and the sets nearly fell on us. Sounds like the same modus operandi. Oh, please. You two wait here. I'll go check it out. But you're not professionals, and you'll be putting yourself in danger. Now wait here. We should be allowed to investigate too, bro. I know we're not professionals, but we're like Scooby-Doo gang, you know? Gang. Alright, we should be allowed to investigate. Thank you. You're both nuts. I thought you'd have more sense than this. Or is that you don't trust me to do my job? Yeah, bro, you didn't take away the evidence. That's the primary reason I don't trust you to do your job. Oh, you didn't even get fingerprints? Come on, man. Oh, forget it. Just don't get in my way. He shakes his head and walks down the stage. Could the culprit really be in the theater with us right now? Will Galvin find him? When the backstage door opens, my heart leaps into my throat. Someone's here. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Miranda? Just what are you doing here? I was worried about you being here alone, so I came to make sure everything was alright. You knew they were here? She looks just as stunned as him as he does to see her. She looks as stunned to see him as he does to see her. You came too? If I had known you were involved, then I wouldn't have worried about their safety. I'm only involved because Sarah told me they'd be here. Came to keep them from putting themselves in danger. Ugh. But how did you know they were coming? Did you authorize this? Well, yes. Joshua asked me for permission to rehearse here in private, so I... Are you two involved? Are you two involved in killing me? Is it you, Joshua, and her? You two trying to do a ritual satanic sacrifice and use me as a body? You use me as a virgin body to sacrifice to your god? To your eldritch god? Because it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna let you. Alright, sorry. Gotta wait. Gotta calm down. So Joshua, so the two people that knew she was going to the theater were Joshua and Miranda. This is seeming suspicious. This is very sus. And I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this at all. The pieces are all coming together now, I think. Do none of you people understand the dangers? At least I arrived in time. In time? We quickly explained what happened. Miranda walks in the fallen set and crouches to examine it. Looks like a trap. A trap? See, there's a wire that runs to the storage room. When you open the door, the pile must have become unstable. Then it definitely wasn't an accident. Well, I've searched, but I can't find any sign of the culprit. They must have left after setting their trap. Well, what do we do now? I'll keep searching around here. You should all go home. But he's right. Let's leave the investigation to him. As Miranda walks with us to the door, Joshua casts a glance back over his shoulder to the storage room. The fingerprints! He must still want to collect the data. Even as I think about it, Galvin opens up the storage room and walks inside. Ugh. Is something wrong? Miranda says, is something wrong? No, nothing. Let's just go. The three of us leave to the theater together, and Joshua seems rather despondent the entire time. Despondent? Despondent. Well, why would he collect fingerprints if I suspect these two, right? Miranda and Joshua. Well, Joshua might be an accomplice, a hired accomplice, maybe. And Miranda might know a little bit because she knows something. Miranda definitely knows something. She's not telling us, right? I don't know. At last, it's time for us to part ways, and I think the evening's chaotic events are all the way back into my apartment. That's right. I look around my dark room for any signs of Silas. Silas. That's strange. Thought he'd come back tonight. Well, he was going to continue telling the story, wasn't he? Call out. Silas, are you there? You alright? Could something have happened to him? Silas! Across the room, a bottle of hairspray on my dresser tilts and falls down. Silas? Was that you? Was that some sort of sign? But if it was, what does it mean? Hope everything is alright. I'll be around whenever you want to talk again. I never thought I'd lose sleep over not seeing a ghost, but my dreams are troubled by fears of what might happen to Silas. Is he pouting? Is he like in a bad mood? And he's just upset that we went to go see another man? It's cute. It's real cute. In the morning, I look around the room again in case there's no sign of any supernatural visitors. The days pass quickly, but it's soon time for our next rehearsal. I enter the theater with a bit more trepidation than usual. What if something else happens today? After what happened to Joshua and I here, I wouldn't be surprised. I made Joshua gaze, but he looks away with a scowl. I guess he's still annoyed about me getting Gavin involved? I wonder who the culprit was. Bro, you're not a professional investigator. Just because you're related with one does not mean you're a professional, sir. I don't care how smart you think you are. You're not a detective. Hard to believe we're still rehearsing under these circumstances. Come on now, you can't have attitudes like that. Positivity, that's what we need. With all due respect, it's still difficult to stay positive when someone cause another accident. When there might be someone waiting to cause another accident. I checked over everything. There should be no chance of sabotaging this time. Now let's get started. It feels strange to step on the stage again, but I force my worries to the back of my mind. I've got to focus on my part. Joshua and I run through one of the critical scenes in the play, when our characters become convinced it's really a ghost. There's only one explanation. Don't say it. I have to say it. The figure we've seen at night must be a... I'm just about to say the word ghost, and the theater lights go out and leave us in complete darkness. What's going on? Nobody panic. It's hard not to panic when we can't see a thing. Sarah, you all right? Either it's just a power outage or we blew a fuse. I'll go see if we can find out what's going on. She lights a candle and hurries towards the door. Great, we'll just stand here in darkness. Wait a minute. If Miranda checked everything over ahead of time, the culprit must be around here somewhere. Alright, then we're in danger. Not as long as we stick together. But don't you see, this is our chance to stop the culprit to prevent anything else from happening. Bro, you're so brave, but we don't have knives or guns to protect us. And it's completely dark, and with a flashlight turned on, they can definitely see us. Just as Joshua reaches the door, it opens. Hello! Bonjour. I'm sorry for interrupting something. Why is it so dark in here? Alicia? You. The timing is suspicious. Could she have knocked out the power once we started rehearsing? I'm not going to accuse her. I don't think she's a culprit. No, I won't say anything just yet. I don't have enough proof. Besides, I just don't believe she's responsible. Are you responsible for this? Responsible for what? Why do I even bother asking? You wouldn't admit it if you were. Someone call the police. Suddenly the lights come back on. All right, that should... She freezes. What is she doing here? I just stopped by. It seems that I've come at a bad time. Did something else happen? I would have thought you would have taken better precautions. Everybody out, Miranda says. What? Out. Everyone needs to get out of here so the incident can be thoroughly investigated. We can... No, you can't. I'm going to get Gavin over the phone immediately. Under her glare, we file out of the theater, Alicia included. We all wait together outside the theater. Miranda calls Gavin, and he arrives within a few minutes. What's the situation? The lights were out suddenly, and I couldn't determine the cause. I'll see what I can find out. He heads inside. For a while, no one says anything, then Joshua steps up to my side. I feel like we're on the brink of something. Can you feel it too? What do you mean? You think Gavin will find out who the culprit is? I hope so. Well, I'll be glad when all of this is over. So will I. Side by side, we wait for Gavin to emerge with his report. At last, the theater door opens again. Please, everyone, come inside. It's time to resolve this case. We exchange glances and follow Gavin into the theater. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. As you know, I was called to investigate certain strange events. What you might not know is that I'm not a detective, but a paranormal investigator. You're a wackadoodle. That's what you are. I knew you were bullying. He's like, what? A ghost hunter? You can't be serious. Yeah, I can't believe it either, but I can't believe it. I know detectives are really expensive, but this guy? Yeah, nah. He is serious. I believe the incident was caused by a ghost that's said to haunt this site. So I called upon Gavin. That's absurd. Regardless of what you think, I found evidence that a ghost was indeed present. With all the time you spent in the theater just now, I assume you took care of it? Yes, I did. What? No! The exclamation escapes me before I can stop myself. I had to know if he was intended to, I would have to stop him. Is something wrong? Defend him? What? Even though he's gone now, I still have to speak for him. Yeah, we can't believe we killed our guy. The ghost was innocent. What are you talking about? I saw him, spoke to him. He isn't responsible for what's happening. Do you know who he is? No, but it wasn't him. I'm sorry, it's too late now. Oh, Silas, what happened here? Was it you? What was it you wanted to tell me? We're going to leave it at that, are we? I did my job. Whatever you do from here is up to you. You didn't do your job, bro. Like, you really fucked up your job. This is not a fucking case closed. There could be an actual murder, and you hired a wackadoodle to go and do whatever he does for ghosts. Hire an actual detective, please. But that's absurd. Excuse me? Don't you remember that wire? A human rigged that to set to fail. I believe the ghost intended to frame someone. You can't be serious. Gavin, he clears his throat. Why don't you two compromise? Give it some time. If something else happens, resume the investigation. That's acceptable to me. Fine. Fine, seems like the closest I'll get to logic around here. Still won't bring Silas back, but at least we can find justice. In the weeks that follow, however, no further incidents occur. Silas couldn't have been responsible, could he? Or did the culprit accomplish whatever they were after? I can tell Joshua is displeased by the outcome, still suspecting a human culprit. The play goes on as planned. This is my dream. I've been on the stage. This is such a sad way to get their dream, though. Despite everything, at least I have this. 3 months later, my life finally feels normal again. All I have to worry about is my job, my acting career, my friendships. normal things. Sometimes I think about Silas and I try not to dwell on it. I hope he managed to find peace somehow. It's nice to go to work and come home without worrying about what will happen next. Miranda offered me a part in another play, but this one is grounded in a romantic comedy. I'll have to think about it. It feels weird after everything that happened, but I'm sure nothing will go wrong this time. Besides, being on stage is my dream. I still see Joshua from time to time, and every now and then I spot Gavin on his way for another job. I guess things have settled down for all of us. Maybe we'll have to get together sometime. There's no reason Joshua and Gavin can't get along. Then again, might be pushing my luck. I settle down for the evening and get out a new book to read. It's a mystery about a couple who moves into a haunted mansion. As I start reading, a quiet sound from another room makes me jump. What was that? I get up from my chair to investigate. There's nothing there. I'd better read something else tonight after all. Things are back to normal, but it's hard to forget everything that happened. Every experience in your life leaves a mark on you, and I doubt this one will wear off anytime soon. Whoops. At least it brought me into contact with some wonderful people, and who knows, it might be just what I needed. Whatever the future holds, I'm ready to face it. Oh, and there's the credits, and I'm so sad for Ghost Boy. I wish we had gotten a better ending with him. But there's always another playthrough. I think this is a really cute game, and there's a lot of mystery. You're kind of like wondering who's the culprit. It's really interesting. I think I definitely am going to replay this game later. If you're interested in the other endings, definitely check it out. I put the link hopefully in here in the description, and definitely give it a look-see and see if you want to try to get the other endings. I really appreciate you guys staying here with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your night or a great rest of your day or whatever time it is where you're at, and you have no ghosties. Actually, maybe it is coming October here. Maybe do have a little ghost or two in your house. Hopefully they're friendly and they make you pancakes, or they want to marry you. I don't know. Whatever your deal is, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you again, and I hope you guys have a great night.